Greetings adventurers, welcome back to the channel. RPG Day 2021 and day 16, double check that, yeah, day 16. And the prompt I'm using today from the little list is villain. And why am I doing this? Because a week ago, for the topic of light, I talked about how I like to play the hero and how I think role-playing games are inherently driven by the fact that they are meant to be played by heroes. But the thing is, for every light there must be a dark, and that doesn't necessarily just mean that you have to have a villain in the campaign. You can play I'm just going to say, you can play an evil character, you can play an anti-hero, you can play a chaotic son of a bitch. As long as you are not using it to disrupt the flow of the game. I myself, as much as I like playing the hero, I also like to play characters that are chaotic. Not that they're going to just go around and brutally slaughter people or do whatever the frick they want or anything like that, but simply the fact that they live by their own rules, they live by their own code. They don't necessarily gel very well with other characters or NPCs or what have you, but the character still works within the party. They're not going to use that chaoticness to steal money. They're not going to use that chaoticness to basically screw over the rest of the players or other characters rather. And the same thing can be said of evil characters. I don't personally like when players want to play evil characters, and generally in my campaigns I say no, you've got to be good or neutral, no evils. But I'm slowly sort of swinging off of that, and I'm just not mentioning it as a requirement to be non-evil in my campaigns when I speak to my players anymore. And if they pick up on that, it's up to them. You can play an evil character in a regular D&D or Pathfinder or whatever campaign. As I say, you can use that to tell or help tell the story. Maybe, you know, you're a little bit more inclined to intimidate somebody, or you're willing to break into somebody's home in order to look for clues, or maybe, you know, I wouldn't use it as I wouldn't allow it, I should say, as an excuse to just go around rampant killing, or, you know, things that have given the idea of playing an evil character a bad reputation. I generally find you've got to have a very, very good player, which is appropriate, to allow them to play an evil character and not have it spoil the game. But it's doable if the player's prepared to tone down where they need to and play up to the strengths of it again when they need to. So why do people do it? I said I like to play the hero, but sometimes we want something else. Sometimes we don't want to give a monkeys. One of the reasons I like chaotic characters, especially in the types of fighters or barbarians, is the fact that if I just want to grab somebody, throw up against the wall and go bish bash bosh, tell us what we want to know or else, I can do it. I can play the sort of person I'm not in the real world, and at the end of a hard day's work, sometimes using a non-good, non-lawful type character is good stress relief, and it lets you take your daily or weekly frustrations out on something that doesn't matter. Not, again, to the extent that it spoils the game, but enough that you get a little bit more freedom, because we're generally good people in real life anyway, aren't we? Well, most of us. So getting the opportunity to play the more visceral antagonist can be quite liberating, and role-playing games give you that sort of opportunity to play the sort of character that you wouldn't want to be in the real world, to do the sort of things that you wouldn't want to do in the real world. As I say, as long as you and the GM are on the same page, on the same wavelength, fine, play an anti-paladin in a regular sort of campaign or a political campaign. Use the role of the usual villain, the evil or extremely chaotic character, to your own advantage, and see where the story takes you. Just don't let it run roughshod over everybody else's enjoyment of the game, whether that's the players or the GM, and doesn't try and run roughshod over the plot to the point that, you know, you've made the whole thing a waste of time. Role-playing games give us the opportunity to be people that we're not, hero or villain, but they give us the opportunity to play the villain now and again, and that can be quite a cathartic experience. Anyway, just a quick little vid. Thanks for watching. Drop me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. It would really help it out. Until next time, take care guys. Good gaming.